We're driving a 2024 Genesis Electrified GV70. It is a small, fully electric SUV. Coming up, I'm going to describe its driving demeanor with profanity. But first, interior.
This interior is so beautiful and elegant.
It's what happens when the design brief says one word: oval.
2 words, flat oval.
It's not just ovals, it's meant to look like the cross-section of a wing.
What does that have to do with anything here?
Nothing, but it does look kind of cool. The electrified version of the GV70 only comes in a fancy trim, so the materials are nice, and then we've also got the upgraded optional Napa leather seats. Fancy. I've got a 14-way seat over here, you've got 12-way over there. I find the shoulder region to be tight, but not too tight.
That's because you're ripped, but not too ripped.
I love that thing where like people are like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym because I don't want to get too muscular. It's like, don't worry about it. Any issues with seat comfort?
None at all. Not too ripped here.
I like that there's a dedicated phone bin and you can cover it up to keep your phone out of sight. And then there are 2 charge ports in there and also a wireless phone charger. In the middle, we've got a center console that is of reasonable size and depth. Good place to put your flying eye sunglasses.
The door storage does not accommodate any bottle that I tried to put into it.
And we Muzios love our beverages. Nailed it. I really like the stalks over here. They have this nice tactile quality.
That tactile quality can also be enjoyed on the volume and tune knobs and the HVAC controls.
For rear occupant space, I fit behind myself. There's not an excess of room, I would say, but my head certainly clears, knees do clear. The rear seats do recline, and to a generous degree. Kiddo, how do you find the middle seat in the back there?
I find it pretty comfortable.
It looks like you've got a good place to put your feet. The rear seats also offer rear vents, and there's a separate climate control zone back there. Further rearward, we've got 28.7 cubic feet of space. There is a small underfloor area, but I like that when you flip up the load floor, that it will stay in place. One thing missing from the rear cargo area is a spare. Living where we live, where tire slashes and punctures are common, that makes me a little concerned. There is a tire repair kit in the frunk, but man, if you get a slash, you're gonna be stuck there for a while.
Those rear seats are a 60-40 split, and the releases are in the cargo area, which I appreciate because I am short and I can't always access them when they're forward on a seat.
It saves you a trip around to the side unless the front seat is moved in a slightly rearward position, in which case the rear headrest may hit into it, so just be shorter, I guess, would be the answer if you're the driver. The GV70 also offers a smart lift gate where if you have the key in your hand or in your pocket, it will detect that, and after 3 seconds, the cargo area will automatically open up. Kiddo, how is it climbing in and out of the GV70?
I think it was pretty easy because it's nice and slow.
Pretty wide door opening as well. And what about getting the booster seat installed?
The latch points are exposed, easy to snap the booster in.
And you could probably get a rear-facing seat back there, but you might have to move the front seats up. From a safety perspective, NHTSA rates it 5 stars overall. The IIHS named this a top safety pick. Plus, active safety features, lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking, an exit warning system to let you know if in case a car or a bike is coming up behind you. Also standard full-speed adaptive cruise control, blind spot warning, and 8 airbags. Family, what do we think? Is the Electrified GV70 family friendly?
Small, rich, family friendly.
Rear window test.
Almost all the way down.
Almost all the way down, woohoo! Armrest test, driving in a comfortable 8 and 4. I wish I had slightly easier access to the inboard and outboard armrest, but I can reach them. Inboard, we've got this stitching right here where my elbow intersects. Outboard, a little bit softer. I'm gonna go 75% outboard, 60% inboard. Hey, would you like to see more videos like this where we review cars as a family, plus the occasional helicopter adventure? If so, you are welcome to subscribe. Style!
The Electrified GV70 looks luxe and dignified, which I think is kind of unusual in an electric vehicle.
Oh, because like they have to like show off their EV-ness first rather than their style first.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm the future. I think it's beautiful. I think the twin light bar motif is really attractive.
Oh, and I love the angularity of the C-pillars and that chrome accent.
I think that might be another element where they've taken a vague aviation theme and brought it from the inside to the outside. I think one of the most interesting parts about the GV70 is how it obscures its electric electrifiedness in that you cannot find the charge port. The first time we had an electrified Genesis, it was the G70, and I did a full 2 laps around, and I was like, I don't know how to charge this thing. It is so smoothly integrated that unless you know what you're looking for, you wouldn't know that that's where the charge port is. And if you appreciate style with low-key, clever functionality, you might appreciate Flying Eyes eyewear. Baked into their eyewear are scratch-resistant polycarbonate lenses and patented Resilimide construction, making them incredibly durable and lightweight. If you're in the market for eyewear that'll last pretty much forever, click the link in the description below. Use the promo code Micah to save 10% on Flying Eyes. We like the look of the Electrified GV70, but what do you think? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Tell us in the comments. Onward to In Motion. It is difficult sometimes to anticipate the creep behavior to come to like a smooth stop and then to actually be stopped. Another odd thing, if you hear that beep, I've just activated iPedal. That is the one pedal drive mode. I'm going to use it coming to a stop here and see how it does, if it can match the previously unparalleled smoothness of a Micah Muzio. Oh my, that is smooth.
Oh.
One bit of weirdness is that several times during our loan, I tried to activate iPedal and it wouldn't activate. Randomly, for no reason, I'm not sure why I couldn't activate it. That wasn't even just a max state of charge thing where it's like, well, we can't use the regen because the battery's already full. Very odd. That does bring up the point though that we can adjust the regenerative braking abilities using these paddles up here. Pro tip, coasting once you've gotten up to speed is more efficient than regen and then using more power. One more braking note, up front we have 14.2-inch discs, and they are clamped by 4-piston calipers. It's good to have solid braking power because paying off my earlier tease that I was going to describe how the vehicle drives using the power of profanity. This thing is...
Sorry. Built-in sensor.
Let me pay off the bit. This thing is quick. For maximum power, we want to push the boost button down here. I think it's a little bit awkwardly located. Nonetheless, push that, you'll have max power for 10 seconds. I've actually seen some publications post like sub 4 second, like 3.6 0 to 60 numbers, but they don't include 5 feet of rollout in their testing. It's this weird hangover from like drag racing or whatever. Just know it's a very, very quick EV. How quick? Quick. On that note, we've got a dual motor all-wheel drive setup, so it's able to get all that power to the ground. So I was in comfort mode. I am now in sport mode. More immediate reactions.
Feels weird.
Like this.
Yeah, like in your stomach.
That's how you know the EV is working. As for ride quality, I find it to be taut, but not uncomfortable. You do feel the road. And actually, it's cool too, because you've got this adaptive suspension. Not only is it adjusting between comfort and sport mode, but it's also got a thing called road preview, where it can look ahead, and if there's like a big bump, it will adjust the damper behavior to best accommodate that impact. Part of the fun I've found steering this thing is from a fairly quick steering ratio, but as I steer, I really have the sense that the vehicle is going to go where I intend. Last thought, it's quiet in here, which is very impressive because there's no engine noise. So we did a lot of driving on the freeway in this thing, and it was very easy to have casual conversations. Very impressive. That's what I think about driving the Electrified GV70, but what does Sweetie think? Evie's at the wheel. Challenge number 1, put us into drive. Very good then. How do you find steering efforts at low speed?
It feels really easy to manage this.
Just do a U-turn once you get to the middle. I would have given us more room, but as it turns out, it wasn't necessary.
Not needed.
Yep, less than 38 foot turning circle. How's visibility?
That thick C-pillar, though stylish, is blocking my visibility over my right shoulder and over my left shoulder. This pillar intrudes into my vision as well. I'm not super jazzed about the visibility here.
For clear here, why don't you get in a straight line on the road and then just floor it from a stop? I just want to watch you experience it. Yeah, how's that feel?
That feels really powerful.
And you know what's fun is that you did not have boost mode activated, which would have made it even quicker. Do you feel like you got enough power to get out in front of traffic?
I do, but I appreciate that it's a manageable amount of power. Like I like how it eases in. It made me feel more in control of the situation.
In our endlessly windy roads, do you find this fun to drive?
I feel like I can easily predict where the car is going to go as I steer it. This is reassuring to me enough to be fun.
reassuring really is your version of fun.
It is! One thing I did really struggle with was backing this out of our driveway. It's on a hill. Just getting the right amount of brakes I found extremely difficult.
If you were in the market for a fully electric premium SUV, would you be comfortable driving an electrified GV70?
I absolutely would.
Strong praise. I'm getting back in the driver's seat. Overall, the electrified GV70 drives with a sporting yet comfortable demeanor, and it is surprisingly quick. Moving to remarks. Infotainment. We have a high-mounted 14.5-inch screen, primarily controlled through this knob, but it is also a touchscreen. But it is also a long reach.
I have a difficult time getting used to systems like this, so I did tend to reach for it rather than operate it with the knob. It is laid out in a way that is easy to navigate.
By the way, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are both standard, and when you're using that, it is nice to have the option to push the thing rather than endlessly scroll to the thing you want to push. Over here, we've got the digital gauge cluster. It shows your blind spots when you turn the turn signal on. That's my favorite part. My least favorite part is the 3D function. To me, it is, oh God, it's like such a gimmick. It kind of reminds me of like looking at a Magic Eye poster where you're like, wait, what is that? And then by the time your eyes focus on it, it's like, okay, now I'm seeing in 3D, but I really should be eyes on the road.
I really disliked using that because I don't want to look away from the road very long. I mean, it is like cool or whatever, but...
It's like using a parallax effect to send each eye different imagery to create the illusion of 3D. That is neat technology. Also, I don't like it, but you can turn it off, so no problem. The Electrified GV70 also has remote parking abilities. If you have a very narrow parking spot, then that's a thing you can do.
Or you can just take it for a walk.
GV70 go walkies. One feature I was excited to see here is vehicle to load. They give you an adapter, and then you can use the charge port on this to power other devices. What would you power with your GV70? And then a feature that's missing, rear sensors for the smart key access. This is like a pretty expensive car. I should be able to grab any door and have it open automatically. Yes, I have reached that level of entitlement. Now it's our daughter's time to shine. Kiddo, can you share your favorite feature?
I like the controls that let me move the front seat forward.
That is a very cool feature if you want extra leg space in back, but use it responsibly, child. Remember, your mother is here. You don't want to be smushed, but she's being very cute about it.
I know, I'm so conflicted right now.
All right, let's talk engine choices. The Powertrain is a 77.4 kilowatt hour battery and dual motor all-wheel drive. That EPA range is not best in class. But the Electrified GV70 does charge very quickly thanks to an 800 volt architecture. You can go from 10 to 80% in only 18 minutes if you find a 250 kilowatt charger. If you use a 50 kilowatt DC charger, it'll take you 73 minutes. For charging at home, it'll take you about 7 hours to get to 100%, assuming you've got a level 2 charger at 48 amps. We should also mention that there are straight up gasoline-powered versions of the GV70, an inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, and there's also a 3.5-liter V6. Regardless of powertrain, all GV70s come with all-wheel drive standard. And you can actually tow with your electrified GV70. It'll tow a max of 3,500 pounds, but probably not very far.
Sweetie,
Yes?
will you share our trim recommendation?
I will! Our trim recommendation is which trim gives you the essential features you would regret not getting, but at the lowest possible price. The Electrified GV70 does offer a $6,800 Prestige package that adds a larger 3D digital gauge cluster, heated second row seats, and premium audio, but for us, the base advanced trim has all the things you need. Leather, heated and ventilated seats, 3-zone climate control, smart key access. Again, all the things you need, and it's already pretty pricey. If you're ready to buy a Genesis GV70, click the Kelley Blue Book pricing link in the description below. You can see how much your current car is worth and how much you should spend on a GV70. One more pricing note, the Electrified GV70 is indeed pricier than the gasoline version, but not as bad as you think. The electrified version only comes with the loaded advanced trim, and if you compare that to the 3.5-liter V6 advanced trim, it's only a $2,300 premium. I should also note the Electrified GV70 is not sold in every state, and it is not eligible for EV tax incentives. Some EV competitors that are approximately similarly priced include the Audi Q8 e-tron, also the upcoming Acura ZDX. Then there's the Tesla Model Y Performance. It is quicker, offers more range, and you can get it for about $45,000 with tax incentives. Did we miss any remarks? If so, tell us in the comments section. Synopsis! In thinking about the essence of the Electrified GV70, it is stylish with wide spectrum excellence, but it will cost you. To us, it is the lacy, rugged 5TB hard drive of electrified SUVs. Video editors love them. Family, I think we've done a good job reviewing the Electrified GV70. May I have a 5 and a 5, and you. Come get your high five. Bam!